Presents Achieving Sales Excellence with Tom Hopkins. Session 3, Prospecting.
Every endeavor, be it a sport, be it a business, has activities that you must master to be what I call a champion. And a champion is the very best. In fact, when I first founded our company years ago, originally the company was called Champions Unlimited because I had a desire to train people in the field of sales and marketing to be the very best. And I thought, what can you call a person that graduates from our 3-day, which we call our boot camp, and goes on to become the very best? Well, we said champions. Well, regardless of your endeavor, there are activities you must master in a field to become a champion. For example, if I were to say to you, what are the 2 main activities a great golfer must master? We would say, well, of course, it's the long game, hitting off the tee, the long shots onto the green, and then, of course, the expertise of the short game, the ability to chip and putt around the green. Those 2 activities you must master to become a champion. You can't just master one. You can't be a great driving specialist and not be able to putt, nor be a great putter but never get on the green in regulation, so you must master both. Well, for example, in basketball, a team to go to the national championship must master 2 major activities: have a great offense and a wonderful defense. Well, in selling, there are 2 fundamentals, activities you as a person and as a company must daily master and work on mastering at all times. You see, because selling has 2 parts that compose selling, and it goes like this. Selling is finding the people to sell, and then selling the people you find. Now, you must master both. If you find no one, you can sell no one. So you've got to find the people first, which leads me to our session, which is prospecting. And prospecting is something that most people don't naturally want to do. They want leads given to them. They want ads to pull in business. They want the company to generate all the leads. And I will say this, if you're going to call yourself a professional salesperson, a major part of your business is brought to the company because you master and specialize in a prospecting area. Now, there are 2 basic types of prospecting. We call it the referral prospecting, where you get referred leads from people that are happy. And then there's the non-referral prospecting, where you go out into the marketplace. We can call this also, if you will, the cold market. They aren't people you know, and you have creative ways to increase the numbers, the activity level, and thus create the business. If you're not bringing in a major part of the business to the company, you really aren't the professional you should be. And many people today don't. They rely on the company to bring in all their leads, bring me my business, and that's not the way the profession of selling has been built. So let's start with a concept. The first key is targeting your market. Who is a candidate for owning your product or service? You have to isolate who are the people that are most excitable about owning the benefits of your product. Now, you notice I said the benefits of your product. We're going to learn that people don't really buy the product. They buy what the product will do for them after they own it. We are in the benefit marketing business. How do they benefit from owning the product? In other words, it's not what it is, it's what it does. How does it help them enjoy their life? How does it make them happier, more fulfilled? How does it satisfy some of the motivators we're going to learn? All right? So we must determine your larger market. Then find out what type of people are already demanding the product. Is it professionals such as doctors, lawyers, accountants? Is it homeowners or entrepreneurs? See, one of the keys is, as a student of this business, keep breaking down the categories of people or businesses who own your product until you find what I call a niche. Then go after that niche with your greatest efforts. Now, there are many ways to approach a market. The best is usually a combination of several approaches. Number 1, the phone. Now, prospecting on the phone, because of the expense of the actual live call or making in-person sales calls, it's gotten so expensive that many companies are increasing their activities and using the telephone. Now, in telephone marketing, we're going to cover a lot of ideas for you to use and take and master in the next session. Number 2 is direct mail. Now, catalogs, brochures, flyers, letters, direct mail is a very effective tool in today's marketplace. More and more people are shopping via these methods. They save time over driving to and walking through mega stores and shopping centers. However, be aware that the easiest thing for a potential client to get rid of is a piece of paper, and to expect a very small response to any direct mail advertising you do. Now, the telephone is somewhat easy to get rid of. It's a voice, and they can hang up or say no. A piece of paper is easy to discard of, and they can throw it away. What is the most difficult thing to get rid of? A body. Yes, a body. So if we can get our bodies in front of more people, we're going to increase the number of presentations we make, the number of people that we get to show and help own our product. That's why I've always believed, number 3, that the in-person contact is the only or one of the finest ways to go. Now, when I say in person, in today's society, door-to-door contact is not always the best method for reaching people, unless, again, you send a letter of introduction. Now, I build a tremendous real estate business, and I knock many doors a day. I believe in going out and talking to people. I believe if you do it properly and say the right words and are not threatening and stay away from the door and are pleasant, you can meet people who want to talk about your product or service. It's more acceptable now today to approach business in person than in individuals in their homes. Now, I did send letters of introductions. I had a letter that I would send out and let them know the company's given me an assignment. They've asked me to do a quick 2-question survey, asked me to get some feedback from people in the community. I'd thank them in advance for their help. And it was amazing, by sending the letter, it gave me a chance to, when I knocked on their door or showed up in their business, to start with that question. Hi, I'm Tom Hopkins. Did you receive my letter of introduction? I sent it because I didn't want to be like so many people today that just show up at a person's door or in their business without an introduction. See, by sending a little letter of introduction, letting them know you've been given the assignment by the company to do a little survey, it's amazing how receptive they are, because you aren't the average person that's, I feel, a little rude just knocking on their door. So some of you may want to design, based on what I just covered, a very nice letter that you will send out introducing yourself. And always start with that question if you send a letter. Did you receive my letter of introduction? I didn't want to be like so many people in our field that just show up at the door or at the business without an introduction. Makes you different, makes you special. And of course, I like the survey approach. My firm has given me an assignment. They've asked me to conduct a quick 2-question survey to get a feel for how people are using our product or service. All right? Now, a survey approach works well to gain the information that you need, while it also provides a service of giving information back to potential clients, especially if you do a survey, then come back and say, here's what we found out. Now, I want you all as champions, and you that are just starting with me, future champions, I really want you to start a habit with this thing we call the business card. The process of giving a business card out today has almost become a trite, non-meaningful trait. In other words, everyone gives cards out. How many of you give cards out? All right, we give cards out. Anything you do as a champion, I want you to do in a way that they see the benefit to them, not to you. Now, I've met people in sales that have said things like this: Tom, let me give you my card, and if you know of anyone who wants to buy or sell a house, let me know. Now, you see, in my opinion, I don't see a tremendous value in having your business card. Who really gets the main benefit from the business card? You, by me sending you business. I've had people say, Tom, if you ever need some insurance, keep my card, let me know. I don't see a lot of value in this card. So I want you all to start a technique with your business cards that has worked, and I've received letters, people all over the world have said, Tom, the little business card technique is so wonderful. Now, you start off by making a daily commitment as to how many cards are not coming back with you at the end of the day. I think that we in sales have got to have little games we play where we say, I'm taking 20 cards today, they're not coming back to this house. They are going to be in the hands of people that do not own my product or service. I don't care how or where I meet them, I'm getting rid of X amount of cards today. And by making this little goal commitment, you're increasing your thoughts of prospecting and activity. Now, I'm going to make a suggestion to you that you write on your business card the words thank you. And then develop, rehearse, and learn what I call the thank you on the business card technique. Now, I'd like to show it to you in a role play, and I've chosen an area where many people might be a little bit uptight. You see, all of us learn certain things through experience. And as you know, when you get on an elevator with people, you watch their body language. Most people get in the elevator, and the first thing they'll do, if there's 2, 3, 4 people, they will move the exact distance between each other so that there's no one too close. Then they'll either look down at the floor or up at the numbers. And many of them are uptight about talking to anyone. You'd be amazed if you'll overcome this fear, become expressive, be a little outgoing, ask the right questions. In a 25-floor ride, you can develop a wonderful client. Watch as I show you the business card technique. Let's go into the elevator. Floor?
Oh, 25, please.
The Jackson Company?
Oh, yeah, Jackson's one of our clients.
Really? What business are you in?
Oh, well, my wife and I have this little flower and gift shop, and Jackson sends our flowers and gifts to their clients.
Great. Sounds like a fun business.
Oh, yeah, we've got the whole family involved, so it keeps things interesting. How about yourself?
Oh, I help people achieve their financial goals.
Oh, so you give away money, right?
Well, not really. Let me give you one of my cards. And this
okay.
tells you a little bit what we do.
Well, that's interesting. What's the thank you for?
I guess I'm thanking you in advance for hopefully the opportunity to someday serve your financial investment needs.
Oh. Well, you know, with our own business, we could sure afford to save every penny we can. As a matter of fact, we could probably use your services. And at the same time, here, perhaps you could use ours. One thing I will use of yours right away is this wonderful idea. There you go.
Oh, great. Why don't I call you next week and we might come up with a real win-win situation.
Okay, sure. And maybe you'll need some flowers by then.
Super. So did you see how two complete strangers after 25 floors had this kind of a feeling and a rapport? Now, one of the keys is to learn those words. So please rehearse this. When you give them the card with thank you on it, it's important you say, I guess I'm thanking you in advance for hopefully the opportunity to someday serve your, whatever your business is, real estate needs, insurance needs, business machine needs, employment needs, whatever. See, you've got to really work on that. Now, the words are important. The word I guess in that little presentation makes it like it's spontaneous. Someday, that throws it way into the future. Even the word hopefully. I guess I'm thanking you in advance for hopefully the opportunity to someday serve your needs. It makes it very nice, very warm, and you saw how he reacted. He took the card and he's in business. Here he's marketing flowers at his nursery. He not only handed me the flowers, but he said, I really like that technique, and he said, here, and he wrote, see, all this is so wonderful. You're going to have such fun when you learn to say and do the things that professionals do. So let's talk now about some suggested ways and means of contacting people. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about is called technical advancement. Now, there's a truth about people in this country you must realize. We all want the latest, the greatest, the fastest, the shiniest, and the newest. This is called the human nature of the average person in this country. Now, whenever your company comes out with a new product or service, what you do is recontact your existing clients with information on it. Now, and I like to kind of do it this way. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is we've done some tests, and we've had companies create a wonderful new product. They then have a national convention. They fly all their people into the convention. They get up and tell them about this wonderful new product. The people get all excited. They go back to their clients, and they call them like this. Jim, yes, Tom Hopkins. I'm so excited. I just got back from Nashville, Tennessee, Operaland. We had a convention. You ought to see this new product. You're going to love it. I can't wait to show it to you. And right away the person says, you know, we're really happy with what we've got, Tom. We're not interested in anything more. See, what happened is you got too assumptive, too excited on the telephone, and they knew it was a selling situation, so they turned you off. What I would like you to do, if you are going to contact an existing client, and you should keep in touch with your people. There's a human nature trait. Let me just say this for a second. By nature, some people in selling have a tendency to always want to be going after new business, and they sometimes neglect their existing clients. Major companies do this. They've got thousands of people that use their product, and they aren't continually following up and moving them into new products. They're always going out trying to get the sales force to find new people. Don't neglect your existing client base. They will do business with you year after year if you take it to them, if you bring it to them. So I want you to try this. When you call a client that owns your product, you call and say this. Hi, Jim, this is, of course, use your name, not mine, Tom Hopkins. No, use your name. And then say, because I value your judgment, I was hoping you would give me your opinion of something the company's created that they're excited about. Now, what you've done here is let them know you value their judgment first of all. That's real nice. You should value their judgment. They own your product. You should also say, I was hoping you'd give me your opinion about something the company's created they're excited about. Well, Tom, what is it? Now, whenever they say, what is it, I want you to say, you know, I plan on being in your area in the next week or so. If you wouldn't mind, I don't think I can tell you all about it on the phone. I haven't seen you for the last few months anyway. Love to pop by and visit with you. Now, would this week be okay, or would next be better? Tom, we're not interested in buying anymore. Say, of course you're not. I look at you as a person to help me with my other clients. So 10 minutes wouldn't be too much to ask of you, would it? No, I guess that's okay. Now you have an in-person opportunity to come by, talk to them about the new product. I hope you'll listen and go over those words I just gave you. Everything works when you say the right words. We are in the word business. All right, the next technique we've called over the years the itch cycle. Now, people move, if you're in real estate, about every 5 years today, so we would say your itch cycle is 5 years. People invest in a new car in about every 30 months. So we would say your itch cycle in the automobile industry is about 30 months. Now, some appliances today will last up to 10 years. So your itch cycle in some appliances would be 10 years. Now, every product has what we call a life cycle or an itch cycle. Now, your company and you need to determine a follow-up program to find people that have invested in your product years ago that haven't been contacted. And if you're a brand new person, you find out about how long people own your product till they need a new one. And you call these people and introduce yourself as a new person who's representing them for the firm. The firm has asked you to just pop by and visit with them. You'll be amazed how you're going to have people that say, well, you know, we've been kind of interested in a new whatever, come on by, or what's it like, what is the new one like? A wonderful way to meet people is to find out the itch cycle of your product, go see them. Now, the reason I call it an itch cycle, because somewhere about 6 months to 2 months prior to reaching the end of this cycle, people will start to itch. They're itching for something new, and the sad part about our business is if you don't contact them, they'll contact your competition, and you've lost business to your company because they were itching and you weren't there to scratch it. Now, let me show you a process of finding out the itch cycle and then recontacting a person. Now, you watch how this person, Mr. Roberts, doesn't want to meet me. He likes me, he trusts me, but he's enjoyed the cars he has. The vehicles have made him happy. You watch how persistency and the right questions will trigger that hot button, and I'll end up with an opportunity to make a transaction. Please watch this role play over and over again. Look for the subtleties, but let's watch. Come on with me as we call Mr. Roberts.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Roberts. This is Tom Hopkins at Bell Motors. Our records show that you acquired 2 of our 3000 series sedans from Paul Barnes here in 1990. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. They're great cars.
I'm just calling to let you know that Paul is no longer with Bell Motors, and the upper management has asked me to call because they're assigning your account to me. So if you have any needs with regard to your vehicles, I'll be the one who will be assisting you.
That's nice, Mr.
It's Hopkins, Tom Hopkins, and you can call me Tom.
Yes, Tom, I appreciate the call, but everything's just fine with the cars. I'll be sure to call if I need anything.
I was wondering, Mr. Roberts, if I might take just a moment of your time to ask you a couple of brief questions about your vehicles.
I guess I could spare a moment. What is it you want to know?
Well, I can see you've owned the vehicles for nearly 5 years now. Am I correct in assuming they're primarily for business use?
Yes, my sales representatives use them.
How long have you provided company cars for your people?
I guess about 13 or 14 years now.
And how many cars have you invested in for them?
I guess about 5. I started with just one vehicle when the company was small, but now we use the 2 cars quite a bit.
That's great. I'm curious, when you invested in these current vehicles, what were your people driving?
We had a couple of the 2000 series sedans. We were pretty happy with your brand's overall performance over the years, so we just got the newer models.
I see. And how long had you owned the previous models?
I guess about 5 years.
Mr. Roberts, I know your time is valuable. I wonder, since you've enjoyed our vehicles for so many years, and believe me, upper management is going to be happy to hear this. So you wouldn't mind if I send you some information on the new 4000 series vehicles, which has just arrived, would you?
I don't have any immediate plans to purchase new vehicles, Tom.
Oh, I understand completely, Mr. Roberts. I just thought you might like to know about the new economy features of the 4000 series vehicles. Everyone is very excited about them.
Economy features?
Many of the people who have already acquired the 4000 series vehicles are seeing a tremendous savings in fuel consumption and are very satisfied with the overall performance of the vehicles as well.
Well, Tom, you've got my attention. I'm always interested in finding ways to economize. Go ahead and send me a brochure and I'll take a look at it.
Outstanding. I'll put it in the mail immediately. And you know, I look forward to meeting with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now, you might have noticed when I first called him, you could sense the defenses come up. When I started asking him questions at first, he didn't want to know about the new line of cars we've come up with. In fact, he was trying to get rid of me. Then suddenly I mentioned the economy, the savings that companies are enjoying. That was the hot button. Please work on learning how to handle the itch cycle. Now, another favorite area of mine in prospecting I call orphan adoption. Now, we all know an orphan has no mother or father. An orphan in the sales field is a person that has owned your product from your company. The person that represented them from your company has left the firm, and so now no one is there to serve them. I call these people orphans. Now, you that are in management, when I was a manager, if a person left my office, I would take the buyers of products that they had, I would give them to new people, but I would send a letter. Managers should send a letter introducing the new representative. Now, let me ask you real quick. What's the one thing, and it starts with C, that a new representative in sales lacks? Confidence. They are nervous, they're afraid. If you will take 10 people that own your product, that bought it from a representative who's left the firm, and we write a letter to that person. Dear Mr. Smith, my name is Tom Hopkins. I'm the manager of X company. Your representative, Jim Brown, is no longer with our firm. I am assigning your account to a new excited representative, Sally Long. I've given Sally an assignment. I have asked her to call you and come by and meet you so we can make sure that we are giving you the finest service possible in the years ahead. Sally is somewhat new, but she is going to be a wonderful representative. I thank you in advance for being nice to Sally. You see how this works? Now, what's fun is I call Sally in. And you that are salespeople, go to your manager and get tune with them and say, would you help me with this letter? I like this. I want to go to these people who own our product, and the representative that served is no longer here. What a wonderful way to get new business. Hundreds of thousands of dollars is waiting in your files right now. Now I give the letters to Sally. Sally, these 10 people have received this letter. I'd like you to call them and pop by and visit them. They're going to be very nice people. Now what will be fun with Sally is now she has some direction. She'll show up. The letter was sent by the manager. There's an authoritarian figure there. They'll be very nice to her. See, if I can get Sally coming back to the office going, you know, Tom, this is not that difficult. They were so nice to me. Of course they were, because they already own our product. We call them orphans. So orphan adoption is recontacting people who've purchased the product from someone who has left the firm. And you'll be amazed if you'll go and do some research. Now, if they have a policy that doesn't allow you to research the existing clients, follow the company. The company is always right. But I'll tell you, if you contact them and let them know what's happened since their last contact with your company, and now you're there to serve their needs, you're going to be excited with all the business you generate. Let's adopt all the orphans that are out there. They've owned our product, they like our company, they just need to be recontacted with excitement. Someone nice come by, visit them, and a lot of them will be ready for the new product. Another idea I'd like to share with you is called community involvement. You see, by giving back to your community through efforts in groups such as children's school activities, civic groups, and other volunteer organizations, you'll meet hundreds, if not thousands of people who will sooner or later want to know what you do for a living. Every one of those people can become a lead generating source for you. I found in my career that I had a desire, as I earned a greater income, feeling that society allowed me to do this, to give back to others. And I think charity work is so important as you become successful in business. Donate your time. Find a worthwhile cause. And in working this worthwhile cause, you'll meet people. You can exchange cards with thank you on it with them. You can follow up with thank you notes to them. It's a wonderful way to do two things: serve the community, give back to the society, and of course meet an awful lot of nice people. Another idea is what I call lead clubs. Now, many cities have established professional lead clubs, and you can research this. Now, if you don't know about one, you may want to start one in your area. A lot of people call this a networking opportunity, where companies get together, they all agree to meet, they find either a hotel or a place, one of the people's homes where they meet, they talk about business, they get each other all excited, and they exchange leads. So I hope you see the long-term benefits, and that's the way you have to look at business. Don't look at short-term only. Long-term benefits of contacting 10 or 12 professionals in non-competing fields. You might arrange a monthly breakfast meeting, or maybe a luncheon. Now the key is to all agree we're going to try to bring leads in for these other industries and share them so we work together. I know if I have a client that likes and trusts me and I have them needing some other product or service, I can refer someone to them and they're going to want to do business with them. Wonderful way to build a business. Now the next area is what I call the newspaper. And I'm going to share this with you, and what's so sad is I've trained thousands of people to do this, and very few will try it. So I'm going to ask you to really make this an effort now. Read the newspaper, and your main goal is not looking at the tragedy and the violence and the negativity. You're going to look for people whose lives are changing that in any way could use your product or service. In other words, you're going to be looking for people who might be promoted in their position. Now, you may have no product for them, but I find that when I was in real estate, I would cut out the promotion picture, put a little letter together that said, "Congratulations, I saw you in the news. I'm in business in the community. I love meeting people that are achievers. It's obviously that you are one. I look forward to meeting you in the near future." You send them that picture with a little letter like that, and a week later call them up and say, "Hi, Mr. Brown, did you receive the picture I sent you with my little letter?" No one else does it. They're very open. "Well, yeah, it was real nice." Well, we always say, "I'm in business in the community, and I'd sure love to meet a person who's achieving like you are. Why don't I pop by when I'm in your area?" The whole key is to just find more ways to meet people. We don't mention our product. We don't say anything about selling anything. We just want to meet an achiever that we're so proud to see in the paper. Some of you can watch when a person gets married. That young couple is going to need your services in the years ahead. Cut out the wedding picture. Send a little letter to them. Congratulations on your wedding day. I saw you in the news. I'm in business in the community, and I hope that I might be of service to you and your new family someday. I hope to meet you. Something nice. Then you do some research and find out their address, pop by and visit. All these are wonderful ways to meet people. Births. You can look at births and find they've had a baby. They may someday need your services, or at least sending them the notice. See, what's funny about this, if you're mailing people things like this, they may know someone that needs your product, or they might just be nice and say, I'd like to know more. The whole key is you act busy and you will get busy. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Now, another idea, too, is when you see a company doing a lot of advertising, they usually have an advertising department. And if you'll call the advertising department and just ask them, say, I'm in business in the community, I wanted to know how your company's expanding, because I run into people that might be qualified for your company. Or I run into people that might want to invest in your products or services. It's a great sense to say, would you mind if I referred qualified people to your company? Now, what will they say unless they fail the mental exam? No, they'll say, well, wait, I would love that. I so hope you realize that this session is not the most exciting for most people because they do want to avoid the fear of rejection and prospecting. But if you master one of the modes that I've taught you, you make it yours, you commit to it, technical advancement, itch cycle, the newspaper, community involvement, lead club, pick one, make it yours. Selling is nothing but a matter of numbers, and commit to learning both phases. Finding the people to sell and selling the people you find, and you've got to become a top producer.